So in just a couple seconds, I want to play for you a clip of Donald Trump. And this is the first time he's spoken to the media in nearly a week since Wednesday's crazy events. And in this clip, he attacks Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and basically threatens them if they go through with trying to impeach him for a second time.
As far as this is concerned, we want no violence, never violence. We want absolutely no violence. And on the impeachment, it's really a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in the history of politics. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This impeachment is causing tremendous anger, and you're doing it, and it's really a terrible thing that they're doing. For Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to continue on this path, I think it's causing tremendous danger to our country, and it's causing tremendous anger. I want no violence. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
So that's clear as day. Now, Donald Trump says, I think almost a dozen times it feels like, oh, I want no violence, no violence, no violence, no violence. But, you know, the Democrats, in particular Pelosi and Schumer, they're causing tremendous anger and they're causing tremendous division. And, you know, people are going to maybe act on it. Now, I want no violence, but like, you know, Pelosi and Schumer are really the ones to blame. And this is the greatest political witch hunt in history, or in American history at least. And Trump is continuing to cast himself as the victim here. And so the lesson here is very clear. Donald Trump's words are like, I don't want any action from my supporters like we saw on Wednesday, you know, directed at the Congress, but it might happen. It wouldn't be my fault. I don't want it, but maybe Pelosi and Schumer do because they're trying to impeach me. And my supporters, they're very angry and they're very, you know, disillusioned right now. And who knows what they would do if Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer impeached me for a second time. And this is just a big witch hunt anyway, because I did nothing wrong. It's all insane. Much like Melania yesterday, which we covered, Donald Trump has found a way to make this about him. He's the victim, not any of the people that were terrified on that day, not any of the people that lost their lives on that day, not any of the people that were injured on that day, not the people watching around the country who, you know, lost faith in their institutions that day. It's him. The man that maybe more than any one individual person was responsible for what happened on that day. Trump doesn't bear sole responsibility, but he bears principal responsibility for egging his supporters on to do what they did and cause the carnage they caused. That's Trump. And he's trying to make it about him being the victim. He and Melania are the biggest victims here because he's facing consequences or may face consequences for his action, and because Melania had some mean things written about her and how people are mad at her because she didn't cut her photo shoot short during one of the most horrific events in the United States in the last few years, if not longer. Like, let's be real here. It's insane. And he is 100% threatening people. That's what he's doing. He is 100% threatening people. There's no nuance in my mind about what he's trying to do here. He's trying to signal to people that while I, on the face of it, would condemn anything you do, I understand if you did it. And I would understand why you did it if you did it. Because you're very angry. You have a reason to be angry. And Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are causing and exacerbating that anger. This is exactly what he did in that first video he put out on the day of those events, where he had to be, you know, coaxed into doing that. And he put out that really short video, impromptu, him, you know, just in the White House yard, basically saying, oh, you know, we have to be peaceful, we have to be respectful, we have to respect law enforcement, but I love you, you're special, you're great little boys and girls. I understand that you're angry, but we got to be peaceful, but you're also very special to me and I love you. And it was this very clear message that I'm saying this because I have to, but I don't believe it. And since then, he's been reported to have regretted putting out that statement, not because he felt it wasn't strident enough in condemning awful actions, but because he felt that he didn't really mean it. And he didn't. He didn't mean it. And he doesn't mean what he's saying here by words. He's meaning what he's saying here by subtext. Donald Trump is making it clear. If you vote to impeach me, even though by any reasonable definition I should be impeached, if not indicted for crimes, I will use my still very large base to go at you. And I will say I never did so, but they will, because they can read between the lines, because there's dog whistles here just for them. That's what this is about. So you better believe that's going to happen. You better believe that this will be levied especially hard in some ways on any Republican that dares vote to impeach him. And there are a few in the House considering it. Maybe not a whole bunch, but a few. And there are a few in the Senate that would maybe vote to convict if an impeachment came to them. And they will get a lot of pressure. This is not going away. David Dole did a really great video about how the FBI and other sources have been saying very clearly this is not done. There are actions expected maybe in every single state capital. Every single one. They might not all be like what happened on Wednesday in Washington, but who knows? Some might be worse. This is not over yet. And as long as Donald Trump continues to threaten people, it shows that he needs to be removed from office. Impeachment needs to happen. There needs to be consequences for what he did, but he's also just a danger hour to hour, day to day, minute to minute. And this is why his cabinet needs to get the fortitude to use the 25th Amendment to remove him immediately if such a thing is possible, if they have the votes. This man's got to go. He is a danger to everyone.